You've been black for a pretty long time, right?
Yes.
So me too. I mean, I've been black for my entire life. So just want to acknowledge that. So by basically what you're saying, do you view yourself as a different American, or do you just care about the safety of our community? Are you a racist for feeling this way?
No.
Thank you very much. And Mr.
Today we're
Sheriff
diving
Wagner,
into a controversial topic that has sparked debates across the country: sanctuary cities and the intense political battle surrounding them. In a recent congressional hearing, Congressman Wesley Hunt asked a bold question: are you a racist for feeling this way, when discussing the impact of sanctuary cities on local communities. Now, this isn't just another political discussion. It's a question that touches on race, safety, and the law. So, let's break it down and see where the real issues lie. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on these critical debates. Alright, let's get into it. Sanctuary cities, what exactly are they? These are cities where local officials limit cooperation with federal immigration authorities. The idea is to protect undocumented immigrants from being detained or deported. Sounds simple, right? But the reality is a lot more complex.
Democrats keep using the phrase
have led to
constitutional crisis, but the real constitutional crisis is sanctuary city mayors, DAs, and judges who are defying federal law and preventing the president from doing the job that he was elected to do by the American people. It is the job of the federal government to keep Americans safe. When violent gangs are taking over American cities like Chicago, that is an invading army. When you can't live peacefully in an apartment in Colorado, that is also an invading army. No judge, DA, or liberal mayor should be able to usurp the power of our commander-in-chief, who was elected by 77 million Americans, and now the Supreme Court agrees. Since the Democrats do not like the result of the election, you would think that they will be focusing on the midterms coming up, but instead they are engaging in a judicial coup d'etat. The reason they are not focused on the midterms is because they are not confident that they could take back control of the House of Representatives in 2 years, because they have no leader and they have no valid message. The Democrat Party has
Sanctuary policies have led to fierce debates on whether they protect vulnerable populations or whether they put local communities at risk. Some argue that sanctuary cities shield immigrants from unjust treatment, but others believe these policies are undermining the rule of law and, worse, endangering American citizens. So, where do we draw the line? During a recent hearing, Rep. Wesley Hunt made some bold claims. He suggested that the real constitutional crisis is the defiance of federal law by sanctuary city leaders, mayors, judges, and district attorneys who prevent enforcement of federal immigration laws. He even went as far as to compare the violent gangs operating in U.S. cities to an invading army. That's a pretty strong statement. But what does this mean for communities? Hunt's argument is that these sanctuary policies allow violent criminals to infiltrate American cities and put local residents at risk.
The Democrat Party has a 21% approval rating with voters in this country. And why? Because their only message is Trump is bad. They've gone so far as to attack people for driving electric vehicles. They openly admit that they are DEI hires, and they claim that the reason they're not popular with voters right now is because they are not opposing Trump enough. That's the reaction to their failure. Their solution is to become more extreme and more unpopular with their policies. This question must be asked: does the Democrat Party hate President Trump more than they love our country and more than they love the safety of my fellow Americans? This might explain why they are willing to overtly defend members of Trinidad MS-13 rather than stand up and clap for a child with a terminal brain cancer illness, or for a young man admitted to West Point, my alma mater, or for a family of the gentleman who was murdered in Butler, Pennsylvania. Trump derangement syndrome is real. It's a real thing. And sanctuary policies are harming my fellow Americans, as my witnesses have testified here today. This U.S. congressman is tired of seeing mothers, daughters, and wives of Americans raped, maimed, and murdered by Trinidad and MS-13 and other violent criminals that have snuck across the border to destroy this great nation.
His criticism goes deeper. He questions whether the Democratic Party, Trump, in their opposition, has ignored the safety of American citizens in favor of political agendas. In this hearing, a key moment came when Hunt asked his witness, "Are you a racist for feeling this way?" The witness, a Chicago resident, shared her experiences of illegal migrants being placed in predominantly black neighborhoods, leading to overcrowded schools and public spaces.
Question, ma'am.
She argued,
you've been black for a pretty long time, right?
Yes.
So me too. I mean, I've been black for my entire life, so just want to acknowledge that. So by basically what you're saying, do you view yourself as a different American, or do you just care about the safety of our community? Are you a racist for feeling this way?
No.
Thank you very much. Great
nation.
And, Mr. Sheriff Wagner, thank you so much. Should support ICE raids, the hard work of Tom Homan, Customs and Border Protection, and the policies of our duly elected Commander-in-Chief. Ms. Carter Walters, thank you for being here, ma'am. I really appreciate your testimony earlier and your experience specifically in Chicago. Are communities of colors disproportionately impacted by illegal migrants getting special privileges? And if so, how?
Yes, so they are placed in our communities. They are not placed anywhere else but in our communities. And they are taking over our schools. So whereas you already had overcrowded schooling, so you might have 20 to 1 class. Now you have 40 to 1 class, and then they don't speak English. So now that's taken away from the child already who is already in an overcrowded classroom. And then you have where now we can't even, they took over our parks. So where you'll have a grandmoms and things, kids, to keep the kids off the street, they house illegals into the field houses. So they took over our field houses. And then now apartments, whereas because our mayor is paying so much money for illegals to house them, now we have tenants that can't even, the landlords that won't even rent to American citizens because they're renting to illegals because they get paid more for illegals.
Now, let me ask you the next question, ma'am.
She argued that these policies were disproportionately harming the very communities they were supposed to help. Now, this is where things get complicated. Is questioning the effects of sanctuary cities inherently racist, or is it just a call for better policy that prioritizes the safety of all communities? This question stirs up a lot of emotions, but it's a conversation that needs to happen. Let's zoom out a bit. While the issue of sanctuary cities is often framed as a debate about immigration, it's also a discussion about resources, safety, and fairness. For example, the overcrowding of schools and public spaces in cities like Chicago isn't just an issue of illegal immigration, it's a strain on public services and local communities. Some feel that these policies create a dangerous precedent by offering sanctuary to people who may not be lawfully present in the country. But here's the big question. How do we balance compassion for immigrants with the need to protect American citizens? It's not about us versus them. It's about finding policies that work for everyone. And that's where we need leadership to make tough decisions.
And Sheriff Wagner, thank you so much for your service. I really appreciate all you've done for this great country. You've been a hostage negotiator, detective, a patrol sergeant, and sheriff. Your accolades are unbelievable. My question for you is this. What are the Democrats in your state doing to prevent you from doing your job? And do you expect more of this, or are you not allowed to enforce the law?
It's come down to I'm not allowed to or else. And that's really what we're faced with. We have an attorney general that is going by his marching orders, whatever you want to call it, and coming after our little agency to serve as a message to the rest of the state of Washington. And if you look behind me, that's why these sheriffs are here today. They all feel the heat. They feel the situation is bearing down on us. We're only 39 sheriffs in our state, and our state needs sheriffs, believe it or not. But they keep trying the attack constantly.
Thank you. And as somebody that has worn the uniform, I understand the importance of leadership, and it starts at the top. Thank you so much for what you've done for our great nation.
Thank you.
I have a unanimous consent request.
I yield back the remainder of my time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
There was no time remaining. I have a unanimous consent request.
So, where do we go from here? Well, it's clear that sanctuary cities won't be going away anytime soon, but the debate must shift from division to solutions. We need policies that protect vulnerable immigrants but also uphold the rule of law and safeguard American communities. As citizens, we need to demand accountability from our leaders, whether they're in Washington or on the local level. Let's not let this issue tear us apart. Let's use it as an opportunity to come together and find common ground. So, there you have it. The question of sanctuary cities is not as simple as it seems, and it raises complex issues about race, safety, and policy. What do you think? Are sanctuary cities a danger to American communities, or are they a necessary protection for vulnerable immigrants? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future discussions like this. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep the conversation going.